Hey everybody, the Real Behemoth here, back in with another video for Heroes of History. Today we've got our new event. So we've got our Triskel token competition again, and it is going to be giving some Excalibur sigils here and some relic dust for the rewards. Now, let's note a key difference for this competition. So now it's not just based out of stamina spent. You can get points for stamina spent. You can get points for wonder crates filled in allied culture events and for arena battles finished. So the arena battles finished is going to be 10 points per. Each crate is going to give you 2 points per, and the staminas are going to be 1 point per. So if you notice that your brackets are, strengthening up a little bit in terms of the amount of ranking points that they've got, keep these in mind because, this is huge, especially for somebody like me. I don't really do arena. I do arena a little bit per week, but that's really it. I let a lot of tries go to waste because I just don't really care about arena. Now it's forcing me to kind of care about arena. Similar for some allied cultures. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, I just kind of want to skip this week. I don't want to really stress about it. So I skip it. Now I shouldn't skip it. There's other dual rewards there. And the other aspect to it as well is going to be, number one, we've got 2 new relics, We have the Excalibur and we have the Falconry glove. So throughout this entire event, it looks like we haven't seen any of the old sigils yet. So hopefully that's something that we can see in the near future. It looks like we have the Cornucopia and Abacus as the other 4-star relics that we can still obtain from this event. But let's jump into each of these new relics and kind of see where we think that they're going to be strong. So the Falconry glove, let's look at it at max. It has some sort of heal. So the base attack is 114 attack. The defense is going to be 38 defense. At max level 10, it has a heal. Upon delivering the killing blow to an enemy unit, the hero equipped with the Falconry glove recovers 7.5% of the defeated enemy's max HP. This effect applies to both regular units and heroes. This is huge. So this almost has a sort of life steal aspect to it that I really, really enjoy and I really like. I think that with some of the changes to the Achilles standard, so the Achilles standard before was stacking. So let's jump over to the Achilles standard real quick. It was stacking. So whenever the holder lands a critical hit, their critical strike chance is increased by 7.5% for 10 seconds. This effect does not stack with itself. That is in an introduction that they made during the last update. It was stacking, and so it was basically granting almost like permanent critical strikes, which was not the intended use behind it. So it kind of got a little bit of a nerf. What is important to note is if you go to the Falconry glove, it's for every single unit, both heroes and mobs or minions. So you're really going to see this play out the most, in my personal opinion, campaign and treasure hunt. So in campaign, when you are massively over or under leveled for your levels and you're coming across somebody that has a ton of HP and is super tanky, when you're defeating them, you're going to have a massive heal. At least it should be massive. If you're looking at Wallace, for example, so 7.5%. If you're looking at the heroes with a ton of HP, so right now my highest seems to be Cleopatra, 18,484. So it's almost 10%. So what would that be? 1,800? 1,800 HP on a heal? That's not bad at all. And against some of these really, really high up waves in campaign, if you're looking at some of these heroes, they're level like freaking 119. That doesn't seem very high. I thought they were a lot higher than that. But point is, if you're versing a ton of heroes and a ton of mobs and things like that, and for example, your Cleopatra is running super low on HP, she's being targeted, right, by a Leif or what have you. She could heal right back up to max HP just from killing a couple of minions like that. I think this is really going to be a great relic for your area attackers Primarily, that's kind of where my head goes, is my area attackers. So somebody like Means, Joan, Kin, even Edison. I think Aquila would still be better for him, but Edison could be a good one, especially for those of you who have him very underleveled. And so he's still that kind of suicide bomber type of glass cannon unit. If you have this on him, he shouldn't die. He should be stomping and max healing himself versus, stomping and dying. Same thing with Tomo. Tomo is very squishy. I think that she's going to be very, very strong with this relic. And, the other aspect to it is melee heroes. Melee heroes like Tomo, who jump right into battle and who are typically targeted and focused when your opponents are coming to attack, whether you have her on the back line or the front line, she eventually becomes focused as your opponents hone in on her. With this relic, it could be a game changer for somebody like her. The other ones I'm thinking about would be Napoleon. It would be, Cleo. Cleo is going to be a big one for this relic. Same thing with Medusa, another big one for this relic. And in some cases, somebody like Caesar, with his burn affecting those around him, you may see some positives for him having some relic like this. If he has that killing blow on somebody in arena, that could play a massive role onto him, staying up for that next invulnerability or invincibility skill. So I'm really excited to see what aspects this falconry glove changes, if any. And I'm wondering if it's going to be as overpowered as it sounds. If it is, it's likely going to get a nerf. Same thing with the Achilles standard. Everybody was using the Achilles standard. It was the strongest relic easily, and it got a big, big nerf. So I think the falconry glove is going to be the main thing, the main focus for us in this Forge of Vulcan event. Now, the Excalibur. The Excalibur is interesting. So it is a 5-star relic. So it's specific to a hero type. It is single strikers only. The Excalibur has a base attack of 189 attack and a base defense of 114 defense. It has a buff and bleed. It enhances the hero's damage against bleeding targets by 15%. Additionally, damaging an enemy has a 10% chance to inflict a bleed, dealing 150% damage per second for 5 seconds. So what does this mean? This means heroes with it. This is kind of like almost the torch, but for bleed, in a little bit of a sense, where it kind of buffs those heroes that already have some sort of bleed skill. They're going to do more damage to those who are already bleeding. So the few that kind of come to mind would be, so let's jump over to single strikers so I don't make that mistake that I did last time where I was telling people, oh, this relic might be good for this hero when it doesn't affect. So Robin Hood. Robin Hood is going to be one of the primary few. So he has an inherent bleed on his skill. He's going to be dishing stupid damage. I think that Robin Hood with Excalibur is going to be pretty solid, but I still don't think it's going to be overwhelming. So right now I just have a cornucopia on him to keep him alive because he's a little bit of squishy, a little bit glass cannon type. But I think that this would be interesting kind of to test on him, seeing how much of a damage difference this will be. Where this will help primarily, in my opinion, is going to be Tesla. So with a bleed, Tesla is going to be absolutely necessary for somebody like Robin Hood. So if you're struggling to finish on 15 or 14 or 13, even if your Robin Hood is a little lower, this relic should help you. The other one that I'm thinking about is Lancelot. Lancelot also has a bleed with his strike. So each strike has a 50% chance to let the opponent bleed for 600% damage over 8 seconds. And he strikes 5 times. So 5 times, there's a potential 5 bleeds if it's not just one target. That's only if he one-shots though. So you're really going to only have one target that is going to be impacted by that bleed, but he's going to deal a lot more damage to it. So this may be, resourceful when it comes to him in arena again. So we all know he gets defeated by Achilles in arena. This may change the game for some Lance players. The other one is this one. This one is going to be kind of my primary thing because I'm stuck on Blue Tesla 15. It's going to impact Dart. So Dart has a big bleed as well. And with his bleed, this would really help people clear Tesla, blue Tesla 15 if they haven't already, instead of having to over level a lot of their blue Tesla heroes. So those are the primary few. You really only need 3. So anybody who gets more than 3, you're looking at it for futuristic heroes. So that's kind of my first thought on that. But I really do think the Falconry glove is going to be the big play during this event. I think with Cleo, with Medusa, with Means, with Kin, all of these folks, if you don't have like a torch, an extra torch for Means, even though he should be your primary torch user, you know, that Falconry glove could absolutely come into play there. So hopefully when we get these relics, we can level them up a little bit. I may get them later this month, not right at the start like I typically do. So I apologize for that. But the rewards are still decent for gold and, across the board. They're still giving decent pulls. But let me know what you guys think about these new 2 relics. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What heroes do you think they're going to be best on? And I'm looking forward to testing them and showcasing them later on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Please leave a like and subscribe.